It is my pleasure to narrate this final AR video. My name is Joanne Thomas, and I have an audience of two next to me. And you're going to join along in this video.
I'm Sally.
And I'm Marguerite.
Okay, so the purpose of the AR stands for Action Research, and the purpose is to allow me to reflect upon and evolve my teaching through something specifically called CALL, which stands for Computer Assisted Language Learning. And I'm evaluating the student perception of Quizlet as it relates to output assessments, and output assessments means speaking and writing.
Okay.
So the AR question is, what is the student perception of using Quizlet sets to prepare for output assessments? And I did not use that terminology in the survey with my students because they would not know what output is. And this is my classroom. That's me in the background. That's my student, Alexandra, and she is doing a speaking assessment, and that's the Quizlet in the background. So the context, I have 4 French classes, and they are 7th graders. There were 40 students participating in the survey. I teach at a private Episcopal middle school in Atlanta, Georgia, and I've had these students for 2 years, and for these 2 years, this is their first experience with a full-time French class as opposed to an exploratory class in Spanish and French in lower school. So the web-based tool that I'm using is called Quizlet. It's a Google site that I have made to teach my students plays. It has lesson plans, dates, and live hyperlinks. Typically, when they are introduced to a new scene, I go to the Quizlet set with script. I make sure that the shuffle is off. I go to options, make sure both sides are seen and the audio is on.
Le jour suivant, Joséphine emmène Napoléon voir un autre ami qui aime beaucoup marcher autour du village.
Quizlet does offer something called noticing with emboldening the word or highlighting the word. So next and suivant are related, takes and emmène are related, another and autre are related.
Elle espère qu'il veut essayer de nouvelles choses. Napoléon est un peu fatigué, mais il va essayer.
There are 37 lines to this particular scene, and I did hire a voice actress who is a native French speaker to narrate the French. Next, for the main 3 sets for output assessment preparation is the summary of scenes with images. I make sure that shuffle is off, and options I see both sides, audio is on.
Joséphine emmène Napoléon voir son ami Eugène, mais Napoléon est un peu fatigué. Il pense qu'il va faire le tour du village avec Joséphine, mais en fait, elle part et c'est avec Eugène qu'il marche. Il marche jusqu'à la boulangerie. Napoléon est content parce qu'il a peut-être faim et il aime les gâteaux.
There are 19 images to this, and it explains the play in a different way than what they're used to from the script. Next is the comprehension questions. I make sure that it is on shuffle. Answer with definition and the audio is on.
Qu'est-ce que Napoléon fait au gâteau? Il le mange, il le jette, il le laisse tomber, il le décore. Il le laisse tomber. Comment s'appelle l'ami de Joséphine qui aime marcher autour du village? Pauline, Alex, Edmé, Eugène. Eugène. Après la boulangerie, où est-ce qu'Eugène emmène Napoléon? Au parc? À la fontaine? Chez le vétérinaire? Chez le vétérinaire.
There are 12 questions to this particular scene for comprehension. The conclusion is the majority of the students thought that using the different Quizlet sets was helpful, beneficial, and effective in preparing for speaking and writing assessments. And I've got 4 main charts here. The blue represents that, yes, they did feel it was helpful. However, the yellow in these charts stands for a maybe. And Margarita, I was talking to you about the maybe. I realized I didn't explicitly tell them how to use this tool inside and outside of the classroom because I just thought they intuitively knew it because they're digital citizens. But alas, no. They are middle schoolers and they do need help figuring out how to use online tools. So my data collection procedures, I used Google Forms. There were 19 questions. There was yes, no, maybe, free response questions on their perception of Quizlet in general and on their perception of specific Quizlet sets. And those would be the scene script, the summary of the scene with images, and the comprehension questions. I also asked them questions on how they were able to use their sets, on their perception of their use of sets in and outside the classroom. The pedagogical implication, this shows an overall positive student perception of Quizlet for output preparation. It allows more educators to see Quizlet in a way other than just for vocabulary practice. And Marguerite, you're a Spanish teacher. I don't think you used Quizlet the way I use Quizlet.
Not the way that you use it.
Mm-hmm. It also shows how receptive students are to use it, which is positive, and it shows how effective it could be for output assessment.